Welcome back. We're back. Oh, we're back, folks. I just recorded a podcast. First time in a long time. Haven't done one of these in, it's probably been about a year or something. Anyway, I will let you guys know I got into the murky waters a little bit in this one. I talked about how me doing my Thanksgiving plans alone at home by myself has caused some people who have heard that to feel a certain way about that. So I addressed that and kind of gave a little bit of context into why I feel the way that I do about it. And it was kind of a doozy. I talked myself around into a circle a couple of times, but that's sort of what I do. So just a heads up before you go into the thing. That's going to happen. Also, I'm not going to say this again throughout the video. Please please subscribe, become a member, become a Patreon patron if you like. But yeah, I was sitting around, and I think I say this in the when it starts, but I was just bored. And I felt the urge to create something. And I haven't done one of these in a very long time. So, thought it might not be a bad idea to get you one out. So, I'm not going to dilly-dally anymore. I think all the context that you need here is that I might have smoked a couple of GBs before I recorded it. And that's about all I need to tell you. You'll find out the rest in a minute. Thank you guys so much for being here. Once again, like and subscribe. And yeah, welcome to episode number whatever it is of Yonder Talks. Enjoy it. So a lot of people will hear me say something like, I for Thanksgiving, I think I'm just going to hang out at the house. I might make myself a turkey and some ham, or bake a mac and cheese and some mashed potatoes, make myself a nice meal or something like that. And then so many people, and they're so sweet, and they're so sweet, but so many people will say, "Oh, well, we're having a thing. Please come over, be a part of this with us." And like, I get it, but here's what it feels like. I like being alone, and I know a lot of people don't. I know that I am different. I know that I'm different than most people when it comes to this thing. I don't necessarily like the same things that other people do. And other people might be like, well, we don't like it either, but we do it because, and maybe I don't know what it is about me. I don't feel that I possess that thing that will make me go do a thing that I don't want to do. And I know that might be what most people would be like, well, that's selfish, lazy selfish. That's not a good trait to have, and sure, I'll give you that. Doesn't change that that's who and how I am. And if you feel any way about that, then what do you want from me? But I was talking about this. I did therapy today, and I was talking about this in there, and I wanted to kind of get to the bottom of why I feel this way about these things. And I had a couple of aha moments during that, which I haven't been doing therapy. The last time I recorded one of these, I was definitely not doing therapy. And speaking of which, I don't know how regular this is going to happen. I just haven't done one in a while, and I was bored, and I feel the need to create a thing, and the timing just isn't right for going live right now. And anyway, I just haven't done one of these in so long that I wanted to crank it back up and see what comes of it. But yeah, I was skeptical about going down that road and talking about that this early on when I was already making a good point, because I know me, and I will get so distracted when I go just bouncing from subject to subject like I normally do. And I find it hard sometimes to just pick back up where I left off. But oy vey. But yeah, I don't know how frequently these things will happen, but this one's happening right now, so roll tide. But yeah, I was working through this thing in therapy, and I had a couple of aha moments where I'm starting to learn a little bit about myself, and why I sort of avoid like big family gatherings, and why I so detest large family holidays, like anything that would cause a family to gather. I tend to want to avoid that sort of situation, or any sort of gathering at all. I don't know. I don't know what it is in me that just I detest these sorts of things, and I really try my best to swallow that down for big situations, but even like as a personal thing, I'm not going to talk about that. That also proves to not be the case for everything. But the Thanksgiving thing specifically, I say it so often when people are like, "Oh, what are you going to do for Thanksgiving?" Or what are your plans? And it's almost like I dread telling them that I'm going to be by myself, cooking a large meal for myself, because to me, that is absolute bliss. I love not having to take someone else's brain into account. I love not having to worry about what you're thinking, or or because I can't help but do that. Like I am like I'm going to go Bob Ross here. I'm like white paint. And every person that is added is a different color of paint that is then added to this. And then that, I become that, and I can't help it. It like that rubs off on me. And then I would rather just be by myself so that I can avoid this what's the right word here? I'm trying to think of a word. Maybe influence. I don't want to have not influence. Taint is too I don't want to use the negative form of taint, but just or stain, or that. But I guess in the analogy that I chose, maybe not the best one. Basically, what I'm saying is like these people will have mental influence over me when they're inserted into my surroundings, or I insert myself into their surroundings. Like I can't help but be influenced by their vibes, and I am very susceptible. I'm very susceptible to being aware of things like that, or of someone's vibes, and then that sort of takes me out of it because I can't stop analyzing, and I realize that like I'm like constantly weighing all of these different potential outcomes of a scenario that involves a lot of different people. It's almost like I'm constantly working out how this is going to play out. When I'm by myself, I can just do the thing that I need to do, free of all of that analysis. So I'm not analyzing as like I am if I were in another situation like that. And I don't know, I back to the point I'm really trying to make is that I get a little discouraged about myself after I see someone's face or hear their reaction to learning that I will be by myself on a holiday that society has trained us to believe you are not supposed to spend alone. Thanksgiving is a time where you go and spend this with your family or with your close friends, or you're basically, it's like you spend it with anyone. You're not supposed to spend it alone, that's for sure. And I know that because of every person who's made a face at me, and they don't even realize that they're doing it, but they are. When they find out that this is kind of what I do, and then they don't know me. Like folks back home, I used to work at Tito's on Thanksgiving. I would open Tito's on Thanksgiving, or I would go to Hardee's and get Hardee's burgers on Thanksgiving. Like I would always do stuff like that, and it was quite frankly, and maybe we'll hit the murky waters a little bit. Quite frankly, after my grandmother passed away and my Aunt Marie before her, family holidays just weren't as much fun to go to. Like, and I love my dad and my stepmom and sisters and my stepbrother and sister-in-law and my nephews and my niece. I love my family, but I don't express that in the same way that I think they and most the most all of society has grown accustomed to it being expressed. Did I say that grammatically sound? I don't care, but you know what I mean. I love them, but I'm not capable of expressing that in the way that everyone has grown accustomed, like showing up for things, and being there physically to make memories or all of this stuff. Like I get it and I understand. And if you say I'm going to regret that one day, then let me regret it one day. But I love my family. But when it gets down to it, the family that I first, when I was first able to remember and store data in my brain, my family consisted of my granny, my pa, and my Aunt Marie. That was my family. Because they were the ones that were in the house every night when we went to bed. They were the last people I would see every night and the first people I would see every morning. That was my family. Well, they're all dead now. And I'm the only one alive from the house I grew up in. Now, I've already worked through that. So if you're feeling a certain way right now that you've heard me say that, and any sort of pity, please save that for something else. I have worked through it. I am content with this fact now. This didn't happen yesterday. This has been something that I've worked on over a decade of just working through a lot of my issues ever since I quit drinking, and I've started trying to dig into what makes me the way that I am. And basically I'm saying, like, though that is a sad reality, being the only one alive from the house you grew up in, don't feel any pity towards me because of that, because I've already buried that part of what's the best way to... I've already washed myself of that hurt, if you will. So anyway, knowing that, and I my sisters and my dad and stepmom, who are the people I would spend probably most of the holiday time with, and my stepbrother and my sister-in-law, and I'm sure my brother knows me. My brother knows me, so I'm sure he understands, and I'm sure that maybe my sisters also understand, kind of, but I think that they might forget over time. Like, they might forget over time that, and I'm not trying to be woe is me about any of this stuff. I'm just speaking factually about things. So they might forget that, they still have each other. Like, when my sisters or my dad or my stepmom, they all have that camaraderie of, well, whenever we fell asleep at night, we were the last ones that we saw, and woke up in the morning, we were the first ones that we saw. They have that with a solid group of people who are still tangible and here and alive, and I do not. And I don't have that camaraderie with them. I don't feel like I am part of that. Even though I know I am, like, that's my dad, and he's a good man. He's part of my life. He didn't run off. He got custody of me, actually. And when I was 2 years old, he got custody over my mom. Think about that. Think about a shitty situation that would have to be for the dad to get custody. It doesn't matter. But like, he's a good man, and I love him. But I mean no ill will at all towards anyone, and I don't want that to be what comes out of this, but just I viewed my grandfather, my pa, and my granny. I viewed them as my parental figures growing up. Even I called my granny Mama because that's what everybody else called her, Mama. Like, everybody else that was around just called her Mama, because it was always just Roger, my dad, and my Aunt Marie. And so I called her, I thought that was her name. But like, that was something that I realized now, and one of those aha moments I had today is that they were my granny and Marie were literally this beacon of comfort. The idea of home. You know what I mean? The thing that makes home home and not just a house. Tom Waits talks about a house being filled with love is what makes it a house. It ain't the roof or the door. If there's love in a house, it's a palace for sure. Like, it's but that thing, when that goes away, it's just not fun to be part of a collected group. Because even if I'm sitting at a table full of people that love me and that I love, I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be somewhere else. I'm gonna be dying inside thinking, oh man, look, I understand this might be good for everyone else here. This might be nice for them. But I just want to go home. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go home. And before everyone that was in that house I grew up in passed away, home meant there with them. And now that they're gone, that sense of home still lies with them, but the part of them that lives within me. So home is within me, and wherever I'm at feels like home. However, if I'm out in any other situation and I'm bouncing other brains off of all of that, it's diminishing that feeling of home, ergo that feeling of comfort that I have within me. It's stifling it out. And I can't explain it a better way than most people would feel a sadness or a dread or a loneliness from spending as much time alone as I do, but also they have not lived my life. And I really love this. Like, I really love the being alone part of this thing. It's truly something that I can unequivocally say has been a reality most of my life. I've always enjoyed my alone time, and I've also always really enjoyed being home. And that's another thing that I've noticed is, like, there is a gray area. I don't mind if there are people, like approved people, to share my space, like home with me. This, like, my house. I don't mind, and I've never minded when people would come over and share that space with me, but it was like, if you want to see me, you've got to come see me. It's not like, yeah, if you want to see me, you got to come to me. I'm not gonna go to you and do your thing, you know? I'm not going to come to you and do your thing with you. And I don't want you to take that personal, because everyone gets the same deal. And some people could say, well, don't I mean more to you than these other people do? And yeah, sure. Yeah, you do. But unfortunately, that no matter how much you mean to me or whatever, it doesn't excuse that reality that I have to live with every day, that I might not want to do the thing. And it doesn't even really matter what the thing is at this point. But the pity that I see in people's eyes when they find out that I would be doing Thanksgiving alone, or when someone says, what are you bringing to the Friendsgiving that we're having at work on Monday? And I say, oh man, I'm probably going to sit at home and make a bunch of hot dogs and not leave my house. And then, like, well, why wouldn't you want to? I can just see how many normal people that have a normal situation, that enjoys spending time with people and creating memories on these holidays. I enjoy the fact that is still something that happens, and that people still long to be around each other like this. But I really like being alone. I'm just more comfortable alone. I'm not old yet, but I'm getting to the age to where I'm valuing my comfort more than anything else. That's my thing. I got to be comfortable, or else I'm not. I got to be comfortable, or else I'm just not. It's not going to work for me mentally. If I can't find comfort in a situation, and I got to get out of it, and if I'm in a situation where I can't get out of it, I just shut down. Like if I'm in the middle of a shift at work and something happens that I can't get out of, and I'm just uncomfortable to the point that I don't want to be there anymore, but I have to be, I kind of just shut down and I turn into an asshole. I turn into a dick. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants to have that reputation. And by nobody, I mean me. I don't want to have that reputation. And I want even less than that to alter the way that people would view me. And not even that, not even how people would view me. I don't want to diminish the amount of respect someone would have for me. That's a better way to say, because I don't care how people look at me. That's not, I don't give a shit how anybody looks at me. But to diminish the level of respect someone might have for me is a thing that I think I have the ability to alter in a negative way by my behavior in times when that internal alarm goes off that says, hey, it's time to get out of here. And I'm like, well, I know the alarm's going off, but can we wait a little bit longer because I can't leave right now? And then it's like, okay, well, you do what you got to do. I'm going to act like this the whole time we're here. And then it's almost like I've got this thing in me that's pouting, and it's going to wear the face. I'll have to work with everything else and get out of the situation and get everything done, but this thing is going to wear the skin. And there's nothing I can do about that. Like inside, I'll be dying and not wanting to be there and not really being able to articulate that. But I will wear my disapproval on my face, and I don't want to be like that. But once that alarm goes off, it's like a warning, like, oh, okay, you got enough time to figure out how to get out of here and start heading home. Because the second I get out, like the second I clock out from work, that thing starts to just, I can feel the claws just ease up. Once, like that thing that's just gripped into my shoulder, like just like a gargoyle that's clawing onto my back. As soon as I clock out, I can feel the claws start to retract. And most of the time, depending on how my work day goes and depending on how bad I'm just ready to get home, I will clock out and I'll make a beeline out. I don't really talk to nobody. I don't look at anybody. I just get the fuck out. And I was doing that the other day, and one of the girls that works downstairs saw me leaving and stopped me. And then I was just like, I don't know. I wasn't myself like I usually am. Excited and funny, and I wasn't the version of myself that they usually get to see, and I could see it on her face that I don't know if it was a concern, but that, getting back to the whole seeing on people's faces, that look when I tell them, no, I'm going to stay home. I'm not coming to the Friendsgiving. No, I'm going to stay home for Thanksgiving. Thank you for inviting me, but I'm going to stay home. And, yeah, I'm going to stay home and cook a big feast for myself. That's how I'm going to do it. The big point that I wanted to get back to from that is that everybody looks at you like in a pity way, like where they have a reason to pity you. And I hate that. I hate being pitied. And even if that's not the case, and that's not what is happening, it feels like it is, and the facial expressions seem to agree with that thought. And I try to tell people, look, I'm not like you. I don't, this is a shitty thing to say, but I thought it was a shitty thing to say, and maybe it's not. We were talking about this in therapy, and maybe it's not a shitty thing to say. I don't value that sort of thing the same way that other people value that. And I'm going to be honest, I love people. And I mean genuinely, like my friends, like I genuinely love my friends, and I mean like fiercely, like I do. I think so much of them and so highly of them. If only I could allow them to see inside my mind how I look at them all, and with the reverence that I have for all of them. I really wish I could just show them that instead of like physically being present. But I realize that's not a possibility, and that maybe I'm a crazy person for even considering that. But I'm learning that I gotta forgive myself for feeling like it is problematic that I don't value the same things that other people value. It's just because other people are valuing a thing that is more widely valued, and I am not valuing a thing that a lot of people hold in high import, just because I am falling on a different side of that coin, doesn't mean that I am less of a person, because sometimes I will feel that I am less of a person because I don't do the normal, oh, thank you for inviting me to this thing. Yeah, you know what? I will come and be a part of that. Or, a large gathering with all of my friends and people that I love. Yeah, of course I will be there for that. Of course. I wouldn't miss that for the world. Of course I'll be there for that. Like I think that's the response most people would want. And I truly mean no disrespect to any of them. But I do wish I do wish that it were easier to explain that, hey man, truth is I'm broken when it comes to holidays because my mom and dad separated when I was 2 years old. So my entire memory bank from childhood until moving out was riddled with arguments around holidays as to who's going to get me at what time, and I'm just kind of being weaponized against my dad from my mom, and my dad is just literally kind of just trying to protect me from a psychopath. And I don't know it yet because I'm too young to understand that that's what my dad's trying to do, is like trying to help me. But my mom is telling me that he doesn't want me to see her, and that his whole side of the family is evil, and that they don't want her to be a part of my life, and that they're all turning me against her, and that's altering the way I look at my dad's side of the family. And then now I'm bringing up stuff that my mom says about my dad and my grandmother at a holiday thing because I'm a child and I don't understand that I'm not supposed to not say certain things like that. And that's starting huge arguments between between my dad and my mom, and my entire both sides of my family, of which I am the like only common denominator. And that really, all of that trauma that I experienced just kind of comes rushing back in every time I have to be in a situation where I'm sitting around a table with a bunch of people and a bunch of food there, and just reliving all of that from when I was young. And then the fact that the only sense of comfort and home that I had has all been dead for many years now, and that I have had a really hard time replacing that feeling with other people that remain, that are left in my life and my family. And that just being back, being anywhere in that situation takes me back to those situations. And then on the inside, I'm melting down for a reason that I really have a hard time explaining. And I can't really put into words, even now as I'm trying to for the first time maybe ever, that I'm just so uncomfortable inside my brain when I am in a situation like that, a situation that a normal person would just be a part of and be happy to be a part of and be honored to be included and happy to be there. I am just the exact opposite and falling apart on the inside, trying to find a way out of it, just looking for an exit of any sort. And that is involuntary. It is something I don't have to try to do. It is just something that occurs naturally and happens naturally. I mean nothing personal by not wanting to be a part of those things, yet people always wanting to make it about them. Not always, but sometimes want to make it about them. And take things like this personal, just knowing I don't want to be part of something like that. It ain't got nothing to do with you. I just don't want to. It's easier. Point I'm making. It's easier for me to say, oh, you know me, I'm just going to stay at the house and cook something. It's easier for me to say that than all of that other stuff that is true. But it's easier for me to just do the old, oh, you know me, I'm all set at the house, make a mess of hot dogs and stream some Skyrim, because that's what I like to do. Because that is what I like to do, but conveniently that thing falls right into this thing that I've allotted in my mind as acceptable. Being alone, being by myself. I thrive here. I really do. And I think that that's apparent. I think that any of you that are watching this probably kind of see that. And you know that. Being at home by myself, doing things on the internet is what got me out of Myrtle Beach. It's what made me friends with Red Band. It's what got him to convince me to leave Myrtle Beach and come to Austin. And even though people would tell me, don't move all the way across the country just to end up falling back into the thing you always did there, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. I'm here now. Like, I'm physically here. I'm seeing my heroes walk down the street while I'm at work. They're stopping to give me a fist bump. They know me. And they like me. It's different now. I'm not basically still in my hometown. This is just where I live now. And life is different. Things are different. I don't really have much more. I don't want anyone to feel any pity towards me because I like to do things alone. That's how I like to do things. Not everyone's like that. Not everyone wants to. Not everyone wants to spend a holiday by themselves at home. I do. I do want that. And it's okay for me to want that. It doesn't mean that your job is to try to convince me to not want that. No more than it's my job to convince you that you don't want to do the thing that you're going to do. That's not what any of this is about. And it's also not your job to feel bad for me or feel sorry for me because I'm doing something different than what society says is normal. It's okay. And I'm okay. Like, it's not, I think that a lot of people would plug in their own lives into this situation and think, what state would I have to be in to not want to be a part of a community gathering of people that I love and that love me? How bad would my life have to be for me to not want to be part of that? And a lot of people think of it from that angle. But I implore those to do something that I am very good at doing, is looking at a perspective from someone else's eyes. Like, I'm very good at putting myself in someone else's shoes. And that is something that used to be taught. Well, maybe put yourself in someone else's shoes and see how they would feel about it. That has been gone. That's thrown out of the window now. No one does that anymore. But I suggest you try to put yourself in my shoes and plug in all of that stuff that I mentioned if you like. And I think you might understand a little better how I would just rather be alone. I'd rather be by myself. I don't drink. I don't party. A lot of people can shove through the uncomfortable parts just to get to the booze at the end or the party at the end. Well, I don't have that destination to get to, and that makes it less fun for me. When you take all of the other stuff that I mentioned, and then put that on top of I'm sober from alcohol in a room full of people that probably are not. That's not a fun situation to be a part of. And I'll have to leave. Whenever something like that starts to happen. But it'd be easier if I just didn't have to be there to start with. So I usually don't. But basically just, it's okay. It's okay to be different. And if you're on the other side and you kind of like agree with the being alone sentiment, know that it's okay to feel that way. It must be, because I feel that way. And if you feel that way and I do as well, then there must be some part of that is validating us and feeling these ways. And it just the same that someone else wants to do how they want to do it. They have that right as much as we do to decline. But I don't know. I just really like being alone, and I don't want anybody to feel bad for me for feeling that way. So yeah, I just don't want. That's basically the point I wanted to make in this thing. Is I see the pity in your face when you find out I'm going to do this by myself. Don't feel that way. I'm fine. I am doing exactly what I want. And the way I hear it, I've talked to a few fellas over the years that are in the situation to where I'm like, yeah, what are you going to do on Thanksgiving? Oh man, I might just sit at home and smoke about a pound of GBs and eat some hot dogs, watch a movie I've seen 1,000 times, and that's it. And then they're like, oh, that sounds like heaven. I got to be around all these people and all this and that. And they're stuck. Not me. I got my freedom. If that's what you call it. Anyway, that's all I got. This is crazy. I smoked a little too much maybe before I started doing this, and I hope that didn't have a negative effect. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this. If you made it this far, more power to you, and thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. Whatever it is you choose to do, I hope you enjoy doing it. And if you got nothing to do, gonna be cooking. gonna be cooking. So hang out with me on the stream while I cook. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Roll Tide.
Ha 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 ha!